Okay, so welcome to the 2025 Seattle Seasonal Shelter RFP information session. We are excited to kick off this process, and we appreciate your interest in supporting seasonal shelter services for our community. And we will get started. I'll start by introducing myself. My name is Shawnee Jones. I use she, her pronouns, and I serve as one of the procurement coordinators on the procurement team. I do have a few of my colleagues on the that are in the space as well. If you just don't mind coming off mute, introducing yourself just briefly, your name, role, and then we can get started. And Eli, you're first on my screen.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Eli Griffin. I am a procurement coordinator here at KCRHA, and I'll pass it over to Joe.
Thanks, Eli. And hey, everybody. My name is Jo Bechtel, and my pronouns are she and her, and I'm the procurement specialist. And I'll pass to Tony.
Hi, everybody. This is Tony Machacha. If I sound distracted, I'm the emergency operations manager, and I am responding to a severe weather forecast for tomorrow. But I'll also be paying attention to this. So thank you for showing up.
Thank you, Tony.
And I'll pass it to Nicole.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Nicole Scott. I am the Program Performance Manager at KCRHA. I oversee everything emergency services. And I think that's all from KCRHA.
Thank you, Nicole. Thank you, guys. So we're going to get started. This is the information session, again, for the 2025 Seattle Seasonal Shelter RFP. And today we're going to review the background information on this RFP, the timeline, funding, eligibility requirements, some of the contracting requirements, submission instructions, selection process, the project scope, rating criteria, and then we'll have time at the end for a little Q&A. I just want to note that this is just an overview, and you can review the online application for full details regarding this project. So just a little background info on this RFP. As you probably know, KCRHA is committed to ensuring that individuals experiencing homelessness have access to safe, reliable shelter during extreme weather conditions. So this project is an opportunity to expand access to critical shelter resources and provide life-saving support to those most vulnerable. Every year from November to March, King County faces cold, wet weather. And without adequate shelter, clothing, or resources, exposure to the elements can lead to hypothermia, illnesses, cold-related illnesses, and severe respiratory issues. And many individuals also face underlying health challenges, making them even more vulnerable to these conditions. So through this RFP, KCRHA is aiming to strengthen our shelter system and ensure that those in need have a safe place to go during severe weather. So the timeline for this RFP, it was released on March 14th. This is the only information session today, March 25th. The last day to ask questions regarding the application is April 4th at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. The application deadline is April 28th at 11:59 p.m. Denial notifications. We anticipate denial notifications going out the week of May 5th. Appeals are due 5 business days after a denial notification. We anticipate award notifications going out the week of May 12th. And we also anticipate contract development beginning the week of May 19th. We estimate the contract start date to be June of 2025. This project is funded by the City of Seattle with up to $350,000 available, and only one agency will be awarded funding to operate a seasonal shelter program through this RFP. To be eligible for this funding, agencies must meet KCRHA's minimum eligibility requirements, which are also listed on our website. And here's what that may look like. Your organization would need to Your organization may need to provide at least one of the following: a certificate of incorporation, or a federal or state registry listing, or authorizing documents. You'll also need to provide a certificate of existence, your employee identification number, your EIN, copy of your business license, KCRHA certification of non-debarment and suspension, proof of active SAM registration, and a unique entity ID number. Other things to keep in mind for this project: agencies must follow current COVID-19 safety guidelines from Seattle King County Public Health. And if you're a nonprofit, you'll need to provide an active UIE or SAM registration in good standing. When you submit your application, you must submit the following required documents: your agency's current fiscal year's financial statements, including a current balance sheet, income statement, and statement of cash flows that are certified by your agency's CFO or financial officer or board treasurer. You must also submit your most recent audit reports, recent fiscal year ending Form 990, and proof of SAM registration in good standing. Some of the contracting requirements for this project, and keeping in mind that any contract resulting from this RFP will be between KCRHA and the applicant organization. Contracts will include requirements and details for data collection and reporting. It will be required, and KCRHA will provide technical assistance. Data collection will include, but may not be limited to, performance commitments. Participate in HMIS data collection to track and improve services, good neighbor agreement, and developing a safety plan for fires and other emergencies. And additional contracting requirements can be found in the full application, and contracting requirements will be discussed during contract negotiations. So now moving on to the project scope. Successful applications will show the ability to provide high quality seasonal congregate shelter that ensures safe, secure, and dignified accommodations. Your proposal should clearly outline how you will manage intake and assessments, provide shelter, warm meals, and access to basic hygiene supplies and facilities, while also creating a welcoming, trauma-informed, and culturally responsive environment that delivers person-centered care and equitable support for diverse populations. Some of the key responsibilities for a successful proposal that we're looking for are first, site development. You'll need to have a shelter location identified and secured with at least including a basic level of community engagement. Next is service delivery. Your shelter must be staffed appropriately, including overnight coverage from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. to ensure safety and support. Client-centered care. We're looking for proposals that are proposing shelters to operate with low barrier housing first model, incorporating harm reduction and trauma-informed practices to best serve guests. Also, facility operations. Shelters should be safe, clean, and compliant with clear processes for intake and discharge, while also engaging with the surrounding community. You'll be expected to also track client engagement and outcomes using the HMIS system. And lastly, collaboration. The program should work closely with local service providers and stakeholders to connect clients with resources. Excuse me. Again, I want to highlight again for this project, a site must be identified and secured. You will be asked that on the application, and you will also be required to upload proof of site control in Salesforce when you're applying for this RFP. That can include a lease or a letter, but some type of documentation showing proof that you have this location is secured for this particular project. Agencies must provide services in Seattle City Council District 5, and it includes these cities here. This is also listed in the application. And HMIS data entry and compliance training for staff is also a requirement for this project. So some of the allowable costs for this project include staff. This is frontline and admin staff, supportive services associated with severe weather events, such as case management, housing search, employment assistance, supplies like blankets, sleeping bags, warm clothing, and personal hygiene items, and hot meals, snacks, and beverages to address immediate nutritional needs. Any expenses that are not directly related to the provisions of shelter services during extreme weather events or that do not align with the funding guidelines and objectives are not allowed in this RFP. And again, you can find full details in the online application. So the selection process. Each application, including the responses to all questions, we do an initial screening to make sure the application is complete, including the response to all questions, all minimum eligibility required documents, and the application is submitted on time. So that is what a complete application looks like. There will be an external review panel of subject matter experts that will review the applications and score based upon the scoring criteria in the RFP. Agencies must demonstrate the capacity to meet all program and minimum eligibility requirements. Agencies with a score of less than 70 out of 100 will not be considered eligible. And agencies must respond quickly to any clarifying questions or document requests. Failure to respond in a timely manner may result in agencies being deemed non-responsive and will not be considered. So again, applications will be rated out of 100 points for the following criteria. Agency experience and proposed approach, 45 points. Staffing, total of 25 points. The racial equity and social justice portion is 15 points. Data and fiscal management, 10 points. The budget is worth up to 5 points. And again, you can find full rating criteria for each section listed in the full RFP application. I also want to make note that the rating panel is made up of community members who are subject matter experts and folks with lived and living experiences with homelessness and other subject matter expertise. And they are directed to rate using the rating criterion only the information that applicants provide in the application. Raters are told not to use their perception of agencies outside of what is in your application. So it is important that you are, creating the narrative, like putting as much detail in your application as possible. Be sure, again, to be detailed and thorough in your responses. Raters cannot assume anything that is not in the applications. Okay. Salesforce. So we are using Salesforce as our new grants management system. And so this section outlines how to manage your account in the Salesforce portal. So before an organization can apply for funding on the Salesforce portal, they must first register their organization. All applicants must register and create an account to apply for any procurements. Now, if you're unsure whether your agency already has an account, enter your UIE number after selecting new agency registration. If an account already exists, that means your agency is registered. If there's no duplicate account found, you'll proceed with registering your agency. You'll be prompted to. I'm sorry, let me call on Eli real quick. If there's no duplicate account found, you'll be prompted, correct, Eli?
Correct.
Okay. I feel like I was getting a little too wordy there. So the link to the portal is on this slide deck, as well as on our webpage. So how you would create a new account is to register a new organization, you click on the Register Your Agency button near the middle of the page. The new agency registration page will open, and application denial and appeal will prompt you to enter your agency's UIE number. You'll enter it in the box beneath UEI. And so again, if no duplicate UEI is found, you would then be prompted to enter in your contact information. If a duplicate UEI is found, an account has already been created for your agency, and you'll want to follow the instructions in the how to reset your password section for next steps. And then you click submit, and you will be navigated to the portal's homepage. And Joe and Eli, I just want to pause. Is there anything to add or clarify on this screen?
Nope, you are good to go.
Okay.
Nope, nothing on my end.
Wonderful, thank you. So if you have an account, you will need to log in and reset your password. If you are an agency previously registered in Flex, you should have an account. And to log into the New Grants Management portal, you'll navigate to the New Grants Management portal, again, with this link, or the link can be found on our website under the, I believe it's the funding program. And I apologize because this system is new, so I'm calling on Eli again. That's correct, right, Eli? To log into the New Grants Management portal, you'll navigate to New Grants Management portal under KCRHA Grants.
Correct. Yeah. So you'll go to the Salesforce portal. If it's your first time logging in, you will put in your username and click on forgot your password to reset it, and you'll just follow that process. It'll walk you right through that process.
Thank you.
If you've already been in Salesforce, you are already good to go.
Thank you. And if you're having trouble logging in, if you still can't log in, you want to contact the grant admin at kcrha.org for assistance. So the best way to reach out to them is through the grants management resource page. The link is here on this slide and also on our website. And from that page, you can book troubleshooting sessions through a request form. So this is like ticket form based. So you can list any issues that you may be experiencing, and they will respond to you promptly, typically within 24 to 48 hours. You can also book a troubleshooting team session if you are still having issues. And so to apply for the procurement, you want to log into your account, select My Applications, then click Apply for New Funding Opportunity, and next choose the 2025 Seattle Seasonal Shelter RFP. And I want to just pause and just caution you to be sure you select the correct application, as the title may be similar to other procurements in the system. And so I'm going to stop sharing for just a moment, and I'm just gonna show you what this all looks like in Salesforce. So hopefully it all ties together. Stop sharing for just a moment. And Salesforce. And share this. Okay. Okay, so hopefully everyone can see this screen. So this is this will look similar to when you log into Salesforce. You'll see a similar page, but keep in mind that your view in Salesforce will be slightly different because this is the back end of the system. So first you'll see like the submission instructions, which is here. And this just gives you information about the application, of how to apply. So again, here's the due date, application instructions. It lists the different areas that you'll have to go through to apply. So you'll answer the program questions, you'll enter your budget narrative. Here's a link to the minimum eligibility documentation, and also the financial documents that you'll need to upload with your application. So then here, so from this submission instructions, then you'll have, you can go through each question, the question section. So the first thing you'll do, you'll enter the project name. And then here are all the questions that are the same questions that are in the actual application. So you'll read the question, obviously, and then you'll enter your answer here in this text box. And then also each question also follows, the rating criteria follows each question. So these are also the same rating criteria that's in the application. So you'll have project name, your question, your text box to respond to the question, and then the rating criterion, which we're going to use, or raters will use to evaluate your responses. So you have proposed program staffing, racial equity and social justice, data and fiscal management, and then budget. So here you will have, so it would ask you, do you have a federally approved indirect rate? If the answer is yes, then it will prompt you to enter your federally approved indirect rate. And then also it would ask you for proof of your federally approved indirect rate. Or if you answer no, then you would just go on to the next question. So under budget tab, you'll also have the budget narrative upload. And then you will have this table here to create your personnel table. So you would click on this, enter your personnel costs, and then you have below the personnel table, you have supplies and other charges where you'll be able to enter your charges for supplies and other services and charges below that. Let's see. Then you have your conflict of interest certification. If you, let's say you do have a conflict of interest, you can upload the conflict of interest form here. Let's say you do have a conflict of interest, you can click here. It would take you to the actual conflict of interest certification. So you won't like download your own form. You'll use the form that we have provided here. And then there's required documents. This is where you'll enter the documents that I talked about in the beginning, like your audited financial statements, most recent audit reports, Form 990. And just keep in mind, if your financial documents, let's just say you need to upload five pages, you will want to condense those into like one PDF because you can only upload one file per section. So you can't enter, like 5 separate times. You only have the opportunity to enter one document at a time. Eli, is there anything that you would want to add about this page? Since you've done this a couple times.
Yeah, no, that's it.
Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing this page. And I'm going to go back to the presentation. Thank you guys for bearing with me on my clicking. Do this. Okay. Okay. And I apologize for the clicking. I need to get back to last page we were on. Okay, so we went over the best way to troubleshoot and the ticket form. So that is it for the presentation. So if you want more information about our funding opportunities, please visit our website or contact the procurement team at rfp@kcrha.org. We do ask that you don't reach out to other staff members about any of the funding opportunities. If you have any questions, please direct them directly to the procurement team. And again, the last day to ask questions about this procurement is April 4th at 5 p.m. And again, you can visit, you can click this link on this page or visit our website at kcrha.org under funding opportunities to learn more information about any of our live or this procurement or any other live procurements. And NOFAs, RFP questions and answers will be listed there too, along with this recording. Okay, are there any questions? And I can go back to any slide if I went too fast, or if there's any looming questions. If you don't have any questions, you can always email them to us at rfp@kcrha.org.
I have one question I put in the chat. It's what would contracting entail beginning June if the shelters are to open in November through March? What would you be expecting at that time?
Good question. Nicole or Tony, can I lean on you to answer that contracting question?
Yeah, hi, this is Tony. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Tony.
Yeah, hi, Leila. So we'd use our time to prepare the site, because especially we know, for example, that finding a site has been a challenge in the past and continues to be a challenge. And so we're giving that lead time to just have the time to find a site and secure a site and set up the place. We might need to do some modifications, all that infrastructure preparation stuff, so that when November comes, you're truly opening the doors.
Perfect. And then if I can ask one other question, with the sites to be open in Seattle or District 5, Tony, you and I know that we network with all the other agencies throughout King County. Would those locations be open to our South King County partners by chance, or to house our South King County clients or residents?
Oh, good question. I think that from our perspective, anyone who shows up needs to get sheltered.
Okay.
But I also think from the provider perspective, whoever will be operating the site might need to be able to do capacity management. And so they might be having their idea for, say, and especially I think with the legislative action that created this fund, is to absorb the population of the unhoused residents around North Seattle, especially like Ballard.
Okay.
So there might be some discussions there, because I don't think it would be cool to put people on buses and bring them to North Seattle.
Yeah, that would be unfortunate. Okay,
Yeah.
that because I realized I knew it was in Seattle. I just didn't know that it was specific to that North Seattle area. So that was good clarification. Thank you both.
Yeah, but as you saw in January and February, when we had overflow at the shelters, like on the east side, people were sent to Seattle because there's capacity there. So we'll see what the capacity is like, and we wouldn't want somebody to be outside and sheltered when they could find space somewhere where there's space.
Okay, sounds good. I just wanted to get some information here and see if I can spread the word to some of my Seattle agencies. So thank you guys.
Sure.
Thank you, Tony. Any other questions? And if not, again, you can email them. I mean, if you have the aha moment later today, if you want to email rfp@kcrha.org, that's fine too. No pressure. So if there are no more questions, we have the gift of time, and I thank you all for being here.
Thank you, Shawnee.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
You too. Thank you, William. Thank you. Thank you, Victoria.
Thank you, Shani. Thank you, Eli.
Thank you so much for being here, Tony. Nicole, oh my God, so much. When programs is in the building, I feel so much better, because sometimes some of these questions is like, wow, we have to get back to you. So I really, really appreciate you all making the time and being here. Thank you.
That's good.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm working with providers right now, trying to figure out if we can open shelters tomorrow for the thunderstorm.
Oh, yeah. That's busy work. Okay. I won't hold up any more of y'all's time.
Yeah, Nicole? Is Nicole still on the call? She's muted.
She said be right back. Okay, no worries.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay.
I'll
Thank you.
Bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.